So, good morning to all of you. So, myself Venkatesh Jadhav, Department of Biophysics, Bindu College, Bhokar, District Nanded, Maharashtra. So, in this lecture, we are going to discuss a very fundamental, basic, and highly significant molecule in biological system, that is DNA or deoxynucleic acid. So, in this session we are going to discuss structure, function and its properties. Now, first of all, we will take an introduction about what is a DNA. So it is a polymer of deoxyribonucleic or nucleotides. So polymer, as you know, when many monomers, or poly means many and mers mean monomers, so when these many polymers or many monomers of deoxyribonucleotides combine together with the help of some specific chemical bond, or we can say it is a phosphodiester bond, it is known as, or that polymer is known as DNA. So generally it is found in chromosome in maximum number, while uh, it is also found in mitochondria and chloroplast of a plant. And the main function or the fundamental function of this molecule is to carry the genetic information. So the DNA is made up of what, or what is the component of DNA? So basically it is made up of three basic components, that is nitrogen bases. Again, these nitrogen bases are of 4 in DNA and again 4 in RNA, where thymine is replaced by uracil. So next component is sugar. So sugar is of 5 carbon sugar, where in RNA it is a ribose sugar and in DNA it is a deoxyribose sugar, because there is a one oxygen is removed from sugar structure in a DNA, that's why it is known as deoxy. And a third and most important component governing a charge to a nucleotide or nucleic acid or a DNA is a phosphate. So these are the basic components: base, sugar and phosphate. Now, as we have discussed the three components, so how they are chemically arranged in a DNA structure. So basically a base, which is a nitrogen base, it may be either adenine, guanine, cytosine or thymine, and where the ninth position of nitrogen is combined with C1 or carbon 1 of and sugar, where it is bound with phosphate having two uh, unpaired oxygens, or it is negatively charged. That's why this overall charge of this nucleotide, you can say it is a negative. So here at carbon number 2, the DNA is lacking one oxygen, so that's why it is known as deoxyribonucleic acid. And in case of RNA, at a second carbon position there is a OH group, so therefore the sugar present in a RNA is a ribose sugar. So a base, sugar and phosphate combine together to form a basic unit of an DNA structure, that is a nucleotide. In more detail, if we take an bases and their structure and classification, so basic structure of purine and pyrimidine. So in nucleotide or in DNA there are two type of bases, that is purine and pyrimidine. Here a purine is a single ring structure having a functional 6 ring atoms, while in and ring, and while purine is having 9 atoms in arranged in double ring structure. Now single ring structure, that is pyrimids, are of three types, that is cytosine, thymine and uracil, where thymine is present in DNA and uracil is present in RNA, where thymine is replaced by uracil in RNA. So this is about three type of pyrimidines, single ring structure, and this is a purine. Now purine is double ring structure, are of two type, that is adenine and guanine. So the detailed structure is shown here. Next, the nomenclature. If we take a basic nomenclature of nucleic acid and its component, so the bases, then in base, if there is adenine, and in nucleoside form it is known as adenosine deoxyadenosine, and in nucleotide form it is known as adenylate deoxyadenylate. So likewise, a second purine, that is guanine, guanosine deoxyguanosine, and in nucleotide form it is known as guanylate deoxyguanylate. So this is for purines. And then pyrimidines, cytosine, thymine and uracil, or for cytosine it is cytidine deoxycytidine, and for nucleotide form it is cytidylate deoxycytidylate. So this is for basically DNA and RNA, where we have already discussed for a deoxy form of and sugar. So this is a basic nomenclature for nucleotide present in DNA as well as RNA. So next is a DNA structure. So DNA structure basically, as we have discussed, it is a polymer of nucleotide. So in one nucleotide, as we have discussed, there is a nitrogen base, sugar and phosphate. Now this one nucleotide combines with another nucleotide with a specific type of chemical bond, that is phosphodiester bond. So basically the 5 prime end, as why we are saying it is a 5 prime end, because the phosphate is bind to the 5 prime position of an carbon present in a sugar. So as we have discussed that it is a 5 carbon sugar, so at a 5th carbon there is a attachment of and phosphate, so that's why it is known as 5 prime end. Whereas if we link successive nucleotides in an DNA structure, the 3 prime end of an sugar remains vacant at the opposite side of an primary structure of DNA sequence. So that's why that 3 prime position of an carbon in a sugar is known as 3 prime end. So for understanding or to specify its polarity, 5 prime to 3 prime DNA is defined in accordance to understand where the where the 5 prime phosphate group is located and where the 3 prime OH group is located. So in this primary structure, nitrogen base, phosphate, nitrogen base, sugar and phosphate is forming a nucleotide, whereas a 3 prime end of that nucleotide, that is 3 prime OH group, is making phosphodiester bond with a 5 prime end phosphate of next nucleotide. So therefore at each nucleotide binding, or the bond formed between, or the linkage between two successive nucleotide binding is phosphodiester bond between 3 prime end of previous nucleotide and 5 prime end of preceding nucleotide. So therefore the nucleotides are binding to each other with the help of phosphodiester bond, and these monomers combine together in a chain and forming a chain or polymer of primary DNA sequence. So it can be visualized as 5 prime to 3 prime DNA sequence. Here in this simplified structure of DNA primary structure, the 5 prime end which is phosphate group end, and 3 prime end which is OH group end. So traditionally a DNA sequence is drawn to know the polarity for conventional use from 5 prime to 3 prime direction, or if you want to draw this sequence in shorthand form, then it become A C G T A. So A means 5 prime end, and again A after T is a 3 prime end. Now the secondary structure of DNA is double helical structure, which is an functional form of a DNA structure. Here with this diagram you can imagine how one strand of DNA is aligned with another strand in a helical form, where each strand is stabilizing to one another with hydrogen bond that we will discuss in next slide. So the secondary structure of a DNA basically contain two antiparallel polynucleotide chains wound around the same axis, or they are just a helix wrapped around each other with the help of a complementary nitrogen bases with hydrogen bond. So next is sugar phosphate chain wrap the periphery of an structure, while bases adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine occupies the core, forming complementary A double bond T and G triple bond C Watson Crick base pairing to maintain the complementarity and stability of an DNA structure. So basically sugar phosphate and nitrogen bases are making a DNA structure with nucleotide in between. Now the fundamental bond which is making complementarity between nitrogen bases is an hydrogen bond. So it is a chemical bond in which hydrogen atom of one molecule or one base, nitrogen base, is attracting to an electronegative atom, especially nitrogen, oxygen or fluorine atom of another atom present or another molecule present near its vicinity. So in this given structure, the delta positive hydrogen is attracting a delta negative oxygen of another molecule. So therefore it is an weak bond, but it is a form between two electropositive and electronegative atoms. So this is a basic for hydrogen bond, which are very important in forming a complementarity in DNA structure. Same hydrogen bonding pattern is shown in this diagram. Here, first of all, adenine binds with thymine with overall distance of 11.1 angstrom, in which there are two hydrogen bond between the first one between hydrogen and oxygen with an 2.8 angstrom bond length, whereas a 3.0 angstrom bond length between nitrogen, hydrogen and again nitrogen. So here it is a inter and intra, means within a molecule and between the molecule hydrogen bonding is there. So therefore adenine binds with thymine with two hydrogen bond. Likewise, guanine binds with cytosine with three hydrogen bond. These three hydrogen bonds are between oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, first one, and second one with 3.0 Armstrong bond length between nitrogen, hydrogen, and again nitrogen. And third one is uh, between nitrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen with 2.9 Armstrong bond length. So again, the overall uh, length of guanine to cytosine are placed on 10.8 Armstrong distance. So this is a ATGC pairing, whereas it is also known as Watson-Crick base pairing. So as shown in diagram here, overall diagram, adenine always binds with thymine with double bond, and guanine always binds with cytosine with triple bond. In more detailed form, the hydrated DNA in B form, which is a more functional form in a living system. So here a single strand is wrapped around another single strand in an helical form. So due to this conformation, there are basically two groves are formed in DNA structure, where a minor grove with a very less space form between wrapping, and a major grove where it is a large space formed due to wrapping. So another very important point is that the distance between two stacking nucleotides or two layer of nucleotides is 3.4 Armstrong, whereas a complete distance of one turn or per turn in DNA double helix is 36 Armstrong, whereas diameter of B form of DNA is 20 Armstrong, and if we take a radius, it is around 10 Armstrong diameter for an DNA structure. So if we take some structural aspect, it is a helical right-handed in helical structure, whereas base pair almost perpendicular to the helix, that is in 3.4 Armstrong apart, and one turn of an DNA, as we have discussed, of 36 Armstrong, or it is approximately containing a 10 or 10.4 base pairs in a one turn of DNA. So as we have discussed, major grove and minor grove. So major grove is having 22 Armstrong distance across helical structure, whereas minor grove is having 12 Armstrong distance in an helical structure. So as we have also discussed, these two strands are combined with each other in anti-parallel direction. That is, suppose first strand is in 5 prime to 3 prime direction, so the next complementary strand is must be in an 3 prime to 5 prime direction. Then only they will form a perfect complementary in their conformational structure, and which will give a more uh, functional and stable structure to the DNA double helix. So basically this is a anti-parallel stable B form of DNA, which is present in most of an organism, or which is a functional form of DNA in most of the living systems. Here the bases in DNA are planar and have tendency to stack over each other. So basically, if we consider this purple strand, the one nucleotide combines with another nucleotide in a sequence form, and it is forming a hydrogen bond with another uh, strand in complementary manner due to their orientation of an atoms. Apart from this, the major stacking forces which is observed in DNA structure are hydrophobic interactions with surrounding solvent and van der Waals forces. So these are very weak bonding interaction, but as they are present in large amount, so they are providing a overall effect as a major stacking forces in DNA conformation and structure. So thank you. In next lecture, we will discuss its some of properties and different function in biological system.